process is a negotiation process. Have you ever thought of that? The first L stands for listen and learn. This means get all your facts straight, doesn't it? Find out the information that you need so that you can negotiate effectively. And what you're listening for is something that you can use to influence the process in your favor. Yes? You're listening for something that you can use so that you can influence circumstances that they go in your way. So you listen and you learn and you collect all the information. Then the O stands for outline the parameters. This is where you start planning. You plan to be positive. You strategize. You think. You plan some more. And you strategize some more. And then you decide, okay, this is what I'm prepared to pay, and that's what I'm prepared to give. And this is the lowest and the highest that I'm prepared to go. So you're setting boundaries. The B stands for build a positive climate. You did not succeed in doing that this morning. Would you agree with me? There was no positive climate. There was no cooperation. There was no trust. And you want to start off by building a positive climate because it gets the whole negotiation process onto the right track from the beginning. Because to make a recovery later on is always more complicated, difficult. The trust might already be compromised. In this case, you saw where one team initially was not willing to negotiate. They became willing later on. Always be willing to negotiate. The second O stands for open communication. Always, always, always keep the communication open. And you do that by asking questions. Open questions. Questions that encourage more information. Closed questions are yes, no answers. They don't give you much information. Open questions will give you lots of information. The L stands for look for options. You always want to expand the scope, enlarge the scope. And you do that by showing value, by being creative, especially when you are in a deadlock situation. You sometimes need to apply some creative thinking to get out of a sticky situation, and I'll return to that shortly. And the last A stands for agree, by putting things in writing with implementation in mind. How are you going to carry this thing through going forward? And that is how the Lobola framework from Andy Brock fits in beautifully all the way through. These principles work, but you need to use them well.